On as I was watching that, and we were all surprised when suddenly we heard the president was in Afghanistan. I'm sure he genuinely wanted to support the U.S. forces, those wonderful men and women who were defending us on the front lines in Afghanistan. On the other hand, I also thought, because everything is political, doesn't it make it a little bit harder to impeach the president when you see him right there acting as our commander-in-chief?
Well, the reports this week were that he's emulating Bill Clinton, who stayed busy during the impeachment hearings and did so quite to his political profit. But remember, Clinton's travels didn't stop Newt Gingrich from impeaching President Clinton. So it's not, determined, but it has this political spin that you put to it. But the other part of the political spin is that with Trump, it seemed, and I think this is why you had the thought, I certainly had it, that it looks like a photo op. Remember, he hadn't gone to visit any war zone until last year, and he was criticized for it. This is his first visit to Afghanistan, our longest war, 2,000 plus Americans dead. He had no preparation. He talked about a ceasefire, but his military people said, we know nothing about any ceasefire with the Taliban, and the Taliban said they know nothing about a ceasefire. He then talked about negotiations with the Taliban, and again, his own diplomats said, we know nothing about any ongoing talks with the Taliban. The president canceled talks with the Taliban last September, if you'll recall, after they were engaged in a violent incident. So it seems to me that if you come back home and say, because this picks up on what you were talking about with Congressman Jeffries, why don't we get things done? You think about, well, why is it that the president hasn't moved on prescription drugs? Why is it the president not moved on minimum wage?
Why hasn't the House moved on USMCA?
Yes, exactly. That's where I was going. So the big victories for him would be if he can get a trade deal, USMCA, or the China trade deal. But that then, he's simply saying, hey, give me this opportunity so that I can somehow distract from the reality of impeachment hearings.
The Democrats continue to play into the hands